All right, hi everyone. This is Karita Parks with Pro Player Insiders, and I'm here with Tony Boselli, Hall of Fame finalist. Tony, let's talk a little bit about the Hall of Fame. What is the significance of being elected into the Hall of Fame as the first Jaguar?
Well, I think just being included in the top 15 and being considered is a huge honor. And if it were to happen Saturday night, for me personally, my family, it would be overwhelming.
Yes.
And it would be great to be able to represent the Jacksonville Jaguars in the Hall of Fame and represent that great fan base and what that franchise has meant to me. And it would be, I guess the term is I keep on coming back to is overwhelming. 'Cause I don't even know what the emotion will be.
I'm sure it will be overwhelming, but I'm sure it'll also be very positive for you.
Yes.
And you talked about what the Jaguars organization means to you, and you've stayed very involved with the Jaguars organization. So just talk a little bit about what it would mean to you to be elected into the Hall of Fame during a year when the Jaguars have had so much success after struggling over the past 10 years, basically since we had the franchise come to town and there was success quickly.
Well, it would have been better if they were here.
Yes, it would have
we were close. They were close.
Very close.
But it would be great. I mean, they've really started to turn around. They got so many good young players and the coaching staff, and everyone did a great job all the way up to Tom Coughlin and Shad Khan. So it would be special. It'd just be so cool to be able to represent the franchise, represent my family, and then to be included with the greats of the game. I grew up watching football. It's been my favorite thing forever, and watching the NFL, and to be included in some of those greats, it'll be very humbling.
And with that being said, if you could choose one game that would make your case for a Hall of Famer, what game would that be?
Gosh, that's a great question. I'd have to think about that. I think one of the things I've always said is, I'm not going to politic. I'm not going to try to prop myself up, because when you do that, you're basically knocking other people down.
Right.
And I think I like the question because what I would say is just go watch the tape. That's the evidence of what I did or didn't do.
There's so many highlights, which is a testament to why you're in this position.
I think that playoff run in '96 was so much fun. Going to Buffalo and playing against the great Bruce Smith, and then going to Denver and beating the best team in football that year, and then coming up just short against New England for the Super Bowl. So probably that run.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a good one. I mean, I was able to play against a lot of great players and had a lot of great battles. Tried to win more than I lost, and we'll see how that stacks up on Saturday night.
That was a special season. Like, I remember being a fan. I was going crazy, and I think this season was great too. But that just being like that franchise team, that was great for the city and great for the fans, and something that we'll never forget.
Yeah, I think there's great memories. But what's fun for me is that this team is doing so well now and really making a name for themselves and kind of bringing Jacksonville back on the map. And for anyone who loves the Jaguars and loves the city, I know they're supporting, Jalen Ramsey and, Blake Bortles and Leonard Fournette and those guys, and Brandon Linder, and some great players on that team. So we'll see what happens.
We talked about how fun it would be if they were here, especially hearing Jalen Ramsey. They would give us plenty of quotes.
Our defense would give you plenty of quotes.
Right.
Ramsey and Boye and Telvin, and they got a bunch of great players who have a lot of confidence and are fun. They make the game fun.
Well, while we're on the Jaguars, Tom Coughlin has come up a lot this season, and I do want to give credit to Doug Marrone too, because I think sometimes he doesn't get as much credit. But I do want to talk about Tom Coughlin and what you think. What is it about him that influences teams, especially since you played for him? And what has that meant for him coming back?
Yeah, I don't think it's any one thing. I think it's just who he is, the respect that he has in that building. Being the guy who architected and built it in the beginning. Then he left and won 2 Super Bowls, and that even gives him more credibility. And he's just one of those individuals when he's around. I think everyone's just a little bit more, on point.
Right.
Paying attention to the details and doing everything a little bit better. Maybe showing up a little early, staying a little bit late, because they know he's watching. So it's not any one thing. I think more than anything, it's just his presence.
Okay. And then switching back to the Hall of Fame, with Terrell Davis being elected last year, there's some similarities. His career was cut a little short. Do you think that opens the door for like yourself or maybe other players who've had the same situation?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I think you look at it. I think my career was a couple games longer than Terrell Davis and also Kenny Easley last year. Both great players. They had great careers, and I don't think it hurts.
Yeah.
It's It is a subjective process. I mean, you look at it, and you got 48 individuals voting for it. I think they have a very difficult job. That they do a great job, and they have to weigh the pros and cons of everyone's career. You know, one of mine is the tenure. I got hurt, and that works against me, and that's okay. That's part of the process, and you know, like, nothing I can do to change it. So you kind of live with it, and you just kind of sit back and wait to see what happens.
Well, I mean, you're a man of faith, so I'm sure you know that timing is everything, and it's just the right timing.
That's right, and so we'll. It's easy to trust God when it's going your way. Yes. So, but it's
harder when it's not.
And that's the most important time to trust Him.
Exactly. I want to talk a little bit about your foundation and the impact that you've had on the Jacksonville community. You do a lot of giving back, especially in low-income neighborhoods. What do you hope that the long-lasting foundation is for what you're doing in the community?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, it's changed multiple times over the years with the consistency trying to help kids, and that's what we want to do around education and character development. You know, we started doing grants when I was first year. Then for a 10-year period, we actually had after-school programs, and really were impacting individual kids' lives. And now we're moving more back to the grants and giving curriculum and partnering with other nonprofits. So the ultimate goal is we want to give every kid a chance. To really have success and to get a good education and develop good character, because I don't care where you grow up, they're great kids and they're not dumb kids.
Exactly.
They just need opportunities, and they need someone. You know, they come from tough family situations and tough environments, and we need a community to get around them. I think it starts with the faith-based community and then the nonprofit community, wrapping your arms around these kids and let them know they're loved. And let them know there's people who believe in them.
That's true, and that's key. Showing them that there's someone who cares, especially with your influence. I'm sure they love it. I've
seen a lot of kids and been around a lot of kids, and I've yet to meet one young man or young lady who's younger that wants to grow up and make terrible mistakes. Right. They don't want that. Some of them end up being there, and you hate it. You want to try to help them and get them on the right track.
Right. So last but not least, Tony, what do you want, or what do you hope, I should say, your legacy is?
Well, that's a deep, big question.
I'm full of deep, big questions today.
I like it. I think ultimately the most important to me is my family. I want to be a good husband. I want to have a marriage that my wife's proud of and that she loves me and trusts me and is honored to be. I want her to be happy and proud that I'm her husband. And then I want kids who I can raise up to be men and women of God that ultimately choose to be that, because it's their choice, and that they look at me as a dad who they know that while I wasn't perfect, that I loved them and cared about them and was there for them. So that's first and foremost for me. And I want great friends, and I want to have great relationships, and then impact my community how I can. And if you do that, it's a pretty full life.
I love that all your responses were personal, not career related, but personal.
Yeah, I mean, listen, football's important to me. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. It's very important to me. I love the game. It's what my passion about it, but it's not as important to me as being a dad or a husband.
100%. Well, congratulations and
much.
good luck. I'll be rooting for you. Thank you so much. Thank you.